Now, anti-fox hunting campaigners are calling for the law to be changed after the Crown Prosecution Service said that no one will be charged after hounds went on the rampage in Cheshire.
Well, residents in Macclesfield say they watched in horror as the dogs raced through the middle of their housing estates earlier this year, chasing a fox that they later killed. Phil McCann reports.
A Saturday afternoon on a residential street in Macclesfield in February.
If you'd have had small animals, pets in the garden, children, anything could have happened, and you don't know what these dogs would have done.
There were cars everywhere. The police had to block the street off.
Dozens of hounds from the Cheshire Forest Hunt swarmed onto Pennington's Lane, jumping over fences and through gardens.
And then they found it. They ripped it to pieces in the back garden, dragged it out on the grass, and they were mauling it.
They were accompanied by masked men and women on quad bikes. It's something people on the road still remember today.
20, 30 people all out to the houses, wondering what was going on, you know, because all the racket, all the dogs were going mad, barking.
Cheshire Police investigated what happened on this road in February, as well as a similar event a month earlier. In one of those cases, a fox was killed. Hunting with dogs is illegal, but the Crown Prosecution Service has decided not to prosecute. The CPS said in both cases our prosecutor decided there was not enough evidence to provide a realistic prospect of a conviction. In order to commit an offence, the animal has to have been hunted intentionally, not by accident. But anti-hunting campaigners want the law to change.
It really needs to be strengthened, and all the loopholes in that law need to be tightened. Plus, we need to have stronger sentencing. We can all work together then to really stop it. At the moment, we are shooting in the dark.
The Cheshire Forest Hunt apologised earlier this year, but wouldn't comment today. The Countryside Alliance weren't available to comment. Phil McCann, BBC North West Tonight, Macclesfield.
Well, a little earlier, I spoke to the legal commentator Joshua Rosenberg. I asked him to explain the fox hunting law.
The law says that you commit an offence if you hunt a mammal, that obviously includes a fox, with a dog. Now, there are certain defences, there are certain exemptions, but it's an offence that you have to do deliberately. What the Crown Prosecution Service says in its guidance is hunting is an intentional activity and there's no such thing as unintentional hunting. So if you were engaged in a drag hunt, which means you follow a scent rather than follow a fox, perfectly lawful, and if your dogs then come across a fox and attack that fox, if you didn't intend to hunt that fox, you may well not be committing an offence.
This fox hunting bill was brought in under the previous Labour government. Given that the Conservatives were thinking of including repealing it in their manifesto at the last general election, the Prime Minister, Theresa May, has suggested that she's broadly in favour of fox hunting. Does the Crown Prosecution Service actually have any real appetite to bring prosecutions?
I think the problem with the Hunting Act is that it wasn't very well drafted and it's really quite difficult to bring prosecutions. You have to make sure all the evidence is there, and it's often quite difficult to prove that somebody actually intended to hunt foxes. I don't think the Prosecution Service would say, well, this law is subject to some doubt. If Parliament had decided already to abolish it and maybe it hadn't quite been brought into effect, they might take that into account. But they shouldn't take account of simple political discussion of what the law should be.
Have there been many fox hunting prosecutions?
Not many. It is, as I say, quite a difficult law to enforce because of the way it works. You have to produce evidence that an individual intended to hunt a particular mammal. It's quite narrowly drawn, and I think those who thought that it was going to stop hunting as a sport have been disappointed. Hunting has changed, though, in its nature, because you don't hunt foxes, you hunt a scent in drag hunting or what's called trail hunting, which is where you follow a scent that's laid in a particular loop, rather like following a fox.
Joshua Rosenberg, thank you.